I'm taking Crawford. He'll handle it all. That's it. I am. I'm not in any way trying to shortcome the tremendous fighter named Canelo. I like Canelo a lot, but I like Crawford more. I like Crawford, and I liked him before Canelo didn't look great in his last fight against Skull. I liked him when the fight was first made 2 years ago, or talked about 2 years ago, or close to 2 years ago.
Teddy Atlas delivers a bold statement. He's riding with Crawford all the way. No hesitation, no filter. Forget the niceties. Atlas isn't dismissing Canelo's legacy, but make no mistake, he's calling for Crawford to take over and knock the king off his throne. Even Crawford isn't backing down. He knows exactly what he's up against, and he's still all in. He said, yeah, he's definitely bigger than me in weight, but I've got tools that are better than his Tuso. It's going to make for a great fight. Sure, Canelo has the size, but Crawford isn't fazed. He's got the skills, the speed, and the mindset to match. He's not stepping into this fight just to survive. He's stepping in to win. This isn't ego. It's belief backed by ability. Crawford respects what Canelo brings, but he's betting what he brings is better. And if he's right, we're witnessing the start of a new era. And it's not just Teddy or Crawford saying it, others in the boxing world are echoing the same. Energy. Anthony Ant Brenegg from the Porterway podcast couldn't hold back his admiration for what Crawford brings to the table.
It's going to be a great fight, and two of the best are fighting the best. I mean, my opinion, I think you can put Crawford in any position, and man, for some way he knows how to figure it out to get out of that position. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's man, and he got that dog in him.
Ant doesn't just see Crawford as talented, he sees him as special, a fighter who adapts, who thinks on the fly and never crumbles under pressure. He's the kind of guy who figures it out no matter the situation. There's something raw and real in Ant's words. You can hear both the respect and the anticipation. It's the kind of excitement that makes you ask, are we about to witness a generational shift? Because if Crawford really is what they say he is, the boxing world won't look the same again. But Ant didn't stop there. He doubled down with a warning that adds a dangerous edge to the matchup. In his own words, Crawford's greatest weapon isn't just skill, it's something deeper, something far more dangerous.
See, that's the scariest thing for me, because he got so much dog in him. I would hate to get out of pocket and get caught slipping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense?
You mean him being against Canelo?
Being stubborn and
trying to make a point.
Because he's that type of dude. He'll get down.
Is where it gets real. Ant isn't just hyping Crawford, he's identifying the one thing that could break Canelo. That dog in Crawford isn't just grit, it's instinct. If Canelo comes in trying to prove a point, trying to trade power, just to stand his ground, it could cost him everything. Crawford lives for those moments when a fight turns chaotic, emotional, and raw. That's when he's most enlivened, most dangerous. Then came Sean Porter, who's been in the ring with Crawford himself. On the Porter Way podcast, he broke down exactly what's at stake for Bud in this moment.
Dog is gonna be there, and he understands that he has to be smart. And I think with this one specifically, it ain't just about being smart. He knows he has to look like he's never looked before, because again, if he doesn't and he beats Canelo, everybody's just gonna say, well, that's Crawford. You know, so I think he knows that this is the performance of a lifetime, and everything has to look right. He knows in order for it to look right, he can't just go out there and let the dog go. The dog is, you know, he got to work his way up to the dog.
This isn't just another major fight for Crawford, according to Porter. This is the fight. Crawford knows he doesn't just have to win, he has to shine like never before. A typical Crawford performance won't cut it this time, because fans expect him to be great aways. So that means he has to go beyond great and deliver something unforgettable. Porter makes it clear Crawford has to be smart, sharp, and explosive, but also time that inner dog perfectly. Because this isn't just about winning, it's about a performance that defines his legacy. And if that wasn't enough pressure, British boxing journalist Gareth A. Davies added a stark reminder of what Crawford is walking into. In a raw and unfiltered take, Davies didn't sugarcoat what this fight could become.
It's going to be a testing fight for both men. Canelo always looks for the knockout, as he says. He will be planting his feet. And as I said to Terence, are you prepared to be hit harder than you've ever been hit before? Obviously, he doesn't want to be hit, but Canelo will hit him harder than anyone he's probably been in against. I know.
Puts it bluntly, Canelo isn't coming in to box pretty. He's coming to hurt. He fights flat-footed, sets his feet, and hunts for knockouts like a man with a mission. And Crawford has never taken punches like the ones Canelo's going. To throw, that's the real test. Not just of skill, but of chin, heart, and sheer will. This fight won't be a tactical chess match. It's going to be a war where every clean shot can change the tide. And the question Davies leaves hanging in the air is chilling. Is Crawford truly ready for that kind of fire? Davies didn't. Stop there, he followed up with a sharp comparison that cuts right to the heart of Crawford's legacy. In that same segment, he made it clear what's truly on the line when Bud steps into that ring.
Spence hits hard, but it wasn't the same Errol Spence that he fought. And he's up against one of the all-time greats of Mexican boxing on September the 13th at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It's a really big fight for him. It's a legacy fight because his resume isn't anything like Saul Canelo Alvarez's.
Yes. Crawford dominated Errol Spence, but, as Gareth A. Davies points out, that wasn't the best version of Spence. This time, Crawford is facing a living legend in Canelo, a man who has etched his name deep into the fabric of Mexican boxing history. And as great as Crawford is, his resume still doesn't match Canelo's iconic status. That's why this fight is about more than belts or bragging rights. It's Crawford's chance to rewrite the narrative. A win here wouldn't just make him undisputed. In the ring, it would cement him as one of boxing's all-time greats. Gareth A. Davies expanded on that by shedding light on Canelo's legacy and the lingering controversy that follows him. In a balanced but brutally honest take, he acknowledged both the accolades and the questions that continue to hover over Canelo's career. Canelo has fought legends, no doubt, but many of them were past their primes. Still, he's taken on nearly everyone and stayed on top for years. The one missing name: David Benavidez. It's the fight fans have been begging for, and Canelo hasn't delivered. But as Davies explains, that doesn't erase his greatness. It just leaves a what-if over his legacy. Now with Crawford stepping up, this feels like the fight that could finally silence the critics. Two icons, two very different paths. One night to prove who truly stands above the rest. Davies continued by zooming in on one of Crawford's most underrated weapons, his vicious instinct when the moment is right. In a sharp observation, he explained exactly why Crawford is far more than just a technical fighter.
When he's got someone hurt, he's very spiteful. We forget those qualities in Crawford. Well, we shouldn't forget those qualities in Crawford. Canelo, we know, feet have slowed over the years, and he likes to sit and plant. Crawford's very adept, both on the inside and the outside.
Crawford doesn't just outbox his opponents, he finishes them. When he sees an opponent hurt, he becomes cold, calculated, and ruthless. Davies warns not to overlook that side of Crawford, the spiteful, switch-flipping nature that turns close contests into sudden, brutal endings. And with Canelo now more flat-footed and planted than ever, that could be a major opening. Crawford's ability to dominate both in close range and from distance means he can switch tactics instantly, and that's where the real danger lies. Gareth A. Davies then gave his personal prediction, and it adds even more weight to the growing belief in Crawford's rise. He laid out his perspective with insight, experience, and a note of caution.
At this point, I've tipped Crawford to win narrowly on points, because I think if he produces one of the great performances of his career, and he's 38 peculiarly, even though, you know, maybe in miles on the clock he's not the older man, because obviously Canelo's been a pro since he was 15. But it's a fascinating duel. I think it will do really big numbers. I don't think it's the fight of this century. It's one of the fights of this century. It's a brilliant matchup. Number 3 pound for pound in Crawford on the Ring magazine rankings. Number 8 pound for pound Canelo. It's a great prospect. It's a must-watch for boxing fans.
It end in glory for Crawford, or will Canelo rise once again and silence every last doubt? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Who are you picking and why? Don't forget to subscribe.